Good morning, Thomas.
How you doing, Sally?
Well, I've been busy this morning swatting at squirrels that have apparently escaped the cage.
Oh my God, which squirrel do you think? Which squirrel got him today?
The one where you see something shiny and
The red squirrels.
yeah, the red
Yeah,
squirrel.
they love the shiny stuff. Kind of like a raccoon breed, raccoon mix. My
Yeah, that is
God,
a raccoon squirrel mix, man.
yeah. How much table talk did we get? Was that 45 minutes of table talk?
It had to be. What I was trying to remember, I was writing furiously to what was the question? I think it started out a little bit, Sky, there were several
This
questions.
the starting question was today, anybody that wants to go live and record their listing process, we're going to do that. Take some photos, then go live, and we'll critique you. And then it was how to be more efficient listing, and then it was table talk.
Oh, no, there was one in between that. It was
Oh, there was.
what's the difference between what you want and remember? What you
No,
want.
I see. I missed this. There was too many topics for me to even keep track of it.
Okay, well, this one, actually, I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't understand. It said, today's topic is what you want most or what you want now.
Okay, I guess that was the third topic.
Yeah, no, that was the second. It started out, open up your process, like you said. The next
Yep.
was, what do you want most or what do you want now? And the third one was, what can help you be more consistent? And then
Consistent, that was it.
the next thing I wrote down was, his wife is a repeat customer.
Yeah, so he starts off and goes, the best thing I ever did in my life was have repeat customers. And I'm like, what is that, 5% of your sales tops? I mean, for me, it's like 3%. That's the greatest thing. Then he goes through, I got this, I got the wife, I got you guys. And I'm like, okay, well then that makes sense. But wife really got me. And then it made me jump to kid. I'm like, the kid's not a repeat customer, because if he doesn't take care, if the kid isn't there, jail is becoming a repeat customer. So,
Man,
it was fun.
I'm
It was
trying
fun.
to think what my takeaway from this was. Even the best of us must remain vigilant for the red squirrel.
Did you have, okay, so the red squirrel, so it was mostly table talk.
Yeah.
What did you take away from table talk besides Chris is totally squirrel brain today?
Well, just in regard to the table itself, he got scammed. The guy's buying a do-it-yourself table, the parts, buying a bunch of them, and because I guarantee you that well, stop it. We're starting to talk.
No. We need to talk tables. If we talk 45 minutes of table, we're at least talking 2 minutes of table.
Well, but see, I almost did it. I was going to say, Joe, wait right here because I'm going to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no. What finish would we use? He's not even finishing the table. We need to stain it.
Well, then I wanted to correct someone's spelling on tongue oil. It's T-U-N, it's not T-O-N-G-U-E like your tongue. And then I kind of wanted to talk about my dad and how we built things.
What?
Yeah, so it's not Chris is, and that's again, the value of this group to me is it's spontaneous. There isn't late at night when I'm not sleeping, I have thumbed through YouTube channels, and there's this guy in England who always talks about the royal family, and he says, I am not in front of a green screen because in the back is the palace. It's such a bad thing. So this guy is rigged, from A to Z. I love this group because the squirrel can get out.
It does every day in the group, in the Facebook group.
And we're chasing it too.
I love it. I mean, this I'm probably the biggest squirrel chaser out of anybody in the group when it comes to the Facebook group, because I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll respond to that stupid thing that doesn't matter, or I'll make a dumb joke that only I'll appreciate. I love it for no reason. It's just, it's like, it's a daily part of me to be like, what silly thing can I respond to today? Like the Sunday sold group. Oh, I love it because it's total. It just feeds into it. It's everything is squirrel topic.
I don't
I'm
know
like, how did you get there?
what are you talking about? A Sunday Soul group?
Really? You don't know about it? Okay, so it's not a group, it's a post. So Jessica Fitzgerald, she's been an OG member since the original group. I think like first day, so 2 years now, 2.5 years, I guess. So every Sunday she just posts like post a great soul. There's no other prompt besides that.
Oh,
So
it's
people often
in
post.
the Facebook group.
It's in the Facebook group. Yeah. It had like a ton. It had like 150 responses this week. So
Okay,
it'll be up there.
I just thought, why spontaneously are these people talking about what they posted?
Yeah, no, it's so there's anything from people selling pencils to crazy bronze deer busts that they sold for $1,000, which is Aaron did that. Aaron's got the best posts in the group. They're incredible. Totally like down to statistics and stuff. Anyways, so he had a great sale and it's just all over the place. There's all different kinds of stuff. So it's fun. It's fun looking at it because then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll pay attention to that. It's like a bolo thing. Anyways,
there ought to be the opposite. I think there ought to be one on your most interesting buy, because that's
no,
the squirrel will get out. I mean, sourcing, your most interesting sourcing this week. I bought something like, God, I'm sitting here fooling with them. There must be 150. I bought a box at an estate sale because I looked in it, had a bunch of toys, and I'll do that. They're all somebody's collection of wind-up toys.
no way, you got tin toys?
Oh yeah, and I've got a wind-up nose.
Oh my God, tin. Are they okay? So you can date them very, very easily.
Let me show you one. Here's an old one.
If they're the old ones, they're worth money.
Look at this old tin rat.
I can't tell if it's new or old, but if it's old, it's worth hundreds, and if it's not old,
I don't think it.
okay. On the bottom, does it say anything?
It says on the side, made in Hong Kong.
Okay, so that's old. So you got an old one, probably from the 70s.
Listen.
I hear it. It's going.
No, I mean, it's when you tap on it, it's tin. But
oh yeah.
Odd ones. Another one, and I did look up one of these. Look at this. This is a walking fuzzy sheep. And I thought, well, what the hell is that? I went online. There's evidently people, I don't know about their private life, but they're into wind-up sheep. They'll grab the box with the noses in it. There's one that has a walking. Why would you want a walking nose?
Why would you want a bronze bust for $1,000? I don't know. I'd rather have a walking nose because I'd look at that and be like, that's totally insane. But again, this is total squirrel brain. So
see, we're doing it, aren't we?
Exactly. We fell into the trap. So the great thing about the group, one of the great things, not the great thing, because the great thing is obviously teaching you consistency and how to win at eBay. But one of the great things that if you want a distraction, you can log on to the group and get it like any moment of the day.
My best, I'll give you an example. I couldn't figure out how, God, I can't wish it was, but look at this walking nose. So I just went on the line and Michelle was on there. I said, hey, Michelle, can you help me with how to figure my way through? Oh, I was trying to do a sale and I couldn't find something. There seems to be always someone in the group who is generous with their time and expertise. There's nobody saying, if you do better, I'm going to do worse. And that's unbelievable. I have really been kind of obsessed with our discussion last Friday about how with this group, we create a virtual world.
Absolutely. Most of the people that I talk to all day, except for one that I've met in this group, never met in real life. Never met. But like, I will spend multiple hours a day talking to people in this group, like on the phone. never met in real life, totally virtual. I could cut them off at any moment. They're all done. But it's
really
an amazing asset. It's the biggest asset of the group, the connections that you make.
It absolutely is. And, you know, even if we have our own hierarchy that's developed, you know, a sociologist could write a thesis on group dynamics of people who never have met. And yet we've formed a structure. We have a hierarchy. We have rules. It's funny how people want rules, and they're quick to point out when someone's breaking a rule. You know,
Oh,
we can't do that on this group.
I get called out routinely, and I just don't give a shit.
You get called out probably for breaking the rules.
Always breaking unwritten rules. Always breaking unwritten rules. Every time.
We should write a rule book, the unofficial rule book. And
yeah, the officially unofficial rules.
Yeah, there's etiquette. You know, you shouldn't attack someone or be too mean. And well, anyway, this morning was a trip. You said, what did I get out of it?
Yeah, what'd you get out of it?
All right, I wrote this note down because I said personal shopping on a budget for somebody. Did you understand that at all? I don't know how that would work.
So, okay, so do you ever look at Chris's Whatnot?
Never.
Okay, so if you log on to his Whatnot today, which you should, he's just, if it is normal, which I'm guessing it is, it's just someone holds up / it's on a hanger, a shirt, could be, I don't know, a Ann Taylor shirt, bids up, I don't know, $5, sells it, moves on to the next one. Next one's a pair of Beta brand pants, goes up to $25, whatever. Just it's item after item after item. It's just pure volume. So yesterday I log on because I want to start selling on Whatnot because I have too much stuff. So I log on just to see like what brands are selling on there, because if it's like normal vintage stuff, because I can get that by the droves, that's not like the tech vintage stuff, you know, the vintage single stitch t-shirts that have like a state on them or like something really cool like a wrap tee. No, I don't get that. I get like a vintage coat, vintage blouse, vintage, like all this stuff from like the 70s, 80s or whatnot. That's not a brand that anyone would recognize now. But if you knew your keywords and whatnot, you could get exactly what you get for like an Ann Taylor blouse. I wanted to log on just because I had some free time. And it's kind of interesting when you just mute it, because if you mute it, then you don't have to like listen to the thing that's not as distracting, but you just have a constant Rolodex of brands going through and you can see what they sell for. So I could be like, oh, I can sell an Ann Taylor blouse, but not a loft blouse, which is an Ann Taylor derivative, that kind of thing. So I know what to pull out of the stuff that I'm getting. But instead, it's Chris sitting down on a Sunday. Surprised me, he doesn't have someone else doing it on a Sunday. Sitting there with like the bottom, because the bottom of the page tells you exactly what like is for sale, and it was a like mystery shopper thing, $50, 5 shirts for $50, and it was like, hey, if you win, tell me your size, and then Chris picks some random stuff for you, and that was what he's talking about. I'm guessing it went terribly because just having something up there is a lot different from trusting someone else to do it. But the whole thought process behind having this personal shopper thing is Chris then picks out the whatever size XL shirts for somebody based on what he thinks they might like. And then if they like what he sends them, then they come back to the store, which in my mind is so stupid because
the inconsistency there though, Thomas, is he said that his customers are reseller customers.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't, because so a reseller customer isn't going to call and say, I love the color pink and I wear an extra large and I like turtlenecks. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, and so that's the part I didn't get, the inconsistency.
Yeah, no, it's again a squirrel-brained method of selling on whatever platform he's selling on. I'm guessing he was doing it today because he has so many items, and it just seemed like a good way to get rid of them, or he's like in between a consignment customer. Not totally sure. Hey, come here.
What are you chasing, squirrel?
There's a little pea over here. the little P, also known as my corgi.
Oh,
So if she comes over here, yep, I gotcha. Nope, you're getting picked up. It's my corgi.
oh.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
Have you seen those bulldogs that pit bulls that have short legs?
Oh yeah. The pit bull corgi crosses.
No,
The strangest
they're
looking. No.
called pocket pits or something like that. Pocket pit bulls. And they flooded the market. By the way, something's happening that we technically better deal with. My internet today, I don't know if you can see, and now it's quit, but this is like an epic storm, and my internet is
No, I can't see.
So I'm not sure. We need to have a plan B for if all of a sudden you aren't there, I need to just take over.
Yeah.
And
talk about corgis.
Because if I did that, as I understand it, anyone looking would not see you frozen in midair.
With a corgi.
Yeah, with a corgi. They would, is that right? I think that's right. That they would just see me since I would be the active speaker.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, if it comes to it, we'll find out. You know,
because
just talk yourself.
I had to sign in and out a couple times today on the call because my internet kept going down.
Okay. So today, okay, so on this call, we're being totally squirrel brained because the call was squirrel brained, right?
Well, I guess we are a mirror, the daily mirror.
Exactly. That's kind of what this is. So what's one major takeaway you got from Squirrel Talk, from Table Talk, from anything? Did you get one takeaway? And if you don't have one, it's fine. That can improve your reselling business.
I told you what it was. It was, we must remain diligent.
That's true.
The squirrel is a crafty creature.
That's true. And what's your major takeaway from Table Talk that Chris got hosed?
I wouldn't buy that table.
Yeah.
All right, now I'll turn around. What was your major takeaway from today?
That every call isn't a banger. I think I texted you and I said everybody loves telling people things that they know.
Yes.
Which is very true. Myself included. If we get on the topic of like agriculture, I love talking about it because it's just one of the things that I know about. I grew up on a farm, so I have like a very kind of commercial, agriculturally minded mindset and also family. Because my close family is very, very involved with commercial agriculture, regardless.
Animals or chickens or
animals. My brother's he's a swine veterinarian. So he's he's a part owner and a pretty significant. Yeah, swine veterinarian. He's an owner in one of the largest swine veterinary operations in the country. So it's pretty significant. And then my stepdad is the Michigan State Sheep Extension Specialist. So he's very much involved in the commercial sheep world, and my family has a sheep farm. So
they do.
Yeah. We have like at any given moment anywhere between like 400 to 500 sheep, including babies.
I had a horrible sheep experience. I thought I was living in Utah out on this farm and it was beautiful. And I thought, I think what I'm going to do is combine a couple of things I want to learn about. One of them is I want to learn how to spin, how to make yarn. So I got these two, they were Angora sheep. No, is that right? Angora sheep, they weren't goats, they were sheep. What kind of sheep would it be that would have a special?
Okay. So there's two type of Angora. Angora hair comes from bunnies and it's super duper soft. And then there's mohair Angora mohair, which just has the name Angora in it, but it's from a goat. Mohair and cashmere are both from goats.
Okay, so I had goats too, which is another story. But the sheep, anyway, so I went on and I looked at all the information on how you shear sheep. So these sheep kind of grow up and pretty soon their hair, their fur is out
They're
long.
pretty big.
So
Wool is the correct term.
okay, well, I got this giant clipper because that's what they said you needed. It was brown and giant.
Yep.
And
No,
I,
it's so hard.
oh God, I couldn't, it looked like I didn't know what, I was being attacked by sheep. I couldn't, finally, I got the neighbor kid who played football to tackle a sheep, hold it down. It wasn't pretty. There was blood. So
No. So normally you use electric shears, and if you're good at it, you can shear a big one in 2.5 minutes. Totally different game.
No, hell no.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah,
It was bad.
it's a fine art, and if you're using the clamp things, you better have the most hand strength of all time, and you're not doing a good job. It's impossible to do a good job.
Well, how's our time looking?
We got another 10 minutes, Sally. We got to burn another 10 minutes today.
Gosh, I don't know where to begin. We've got sheep, we've got goats. I don't know if it was your advice or not, but yesterday that's the day they changed the color at our Goodwill. So I told Bill, I said, look, we're gonna go to Goodwill, but we're not necessarily gonna buy. I think it was you, or it was either you or Landon, who said they spend a lot of time going down Goodwill aisles, just looking at brands and looking it up, because I said my Rolodex is rather narrow.
Yeah.
So I got myself my own bolo on, based on going through YouTube and seeing what's sold and so forth in what price range. So I went down and looked through I've been buying a lot of the wrong things. My complaint was I'm selling pretty good, but it's all with items that I'm not making crap on. I'm making 15, 20 bucks on it if I'm lucky. So I'm trying to find the best way to expand that Rolodex. And I was kind of hoping today maybe somebody would talk about that, although I'm sure it's a pretty old subject. How would you increase your Rolodex? I picked 3 things: shoes, jeans. I guess that was it. Shoes and jeans were my Rolodex. How would you do it?
So those are the 2 niches you want to go into, or those are like the 2 things you were looking at yesterday?
Those were the 2 things I was looking at yesterday, because they're 2 things that I do sell, and there are a lot of in this area.
Okay, gotcha. So there's things I can just straight up like tell you about jeans and shoes. But the best way to go about it is to just do what you're doing. Go down an aisle, search stuff. The interesting thing about jeans, it's incredibly size dependent. Yep, it's incredibly size dependent. I'd say just like women's clothing, men's clothing is not as size dependent, but women's clothing, like there's a reason you go to the clearance stores, you go to Nordstrom Rack or whatever, and everything that's there is size double XS, double, it's extra small, it's size 0, it's size 2. Just partly because if a store is going to charge the same for a size 2XL as they are for a size double XS, which is what they do, because it would look like they're taxing the big folks. Obviously, the manufacturers are going to make probably a few more of the double extra smalls because it's going to use half the fabric, and they're going to charge the retailer the same amount of money, and the retailer has to buy them all, or else the manufacturer, cuts them off. So you end up with all these extra smalls because not only are there more of them, but also there's less of a demand for them. And since there's less of a demand for them, the people that are wearing those clothes know that they can get them pretty much anywhere for dirt cheap. So the answer is, to your question, number 1, look everything up. Acknowledge that when it comes to women's clothing, you want to get at least a size medium. So like 6, 8, and plus are the better sizes. You want to recognize that it's harder to photograph plus size clothing, especially when it comes to dresses, because they're really long and it takes up more space on your vertical flat lay, whatever. If you have a mannequin, it's not as big of a deal because you can always just like pin the back with a little clip. And when it comes to shoes, it's very size dependent as well. And if you're looking for a men's shoe, you're looking for anything between a 10.5 to a 13, and like 11 and 12 is the ideal size. And if you're looking for women's, you're looking for anything between 7 to 10. Oh. And or maybe it's 7.5 to 10, 7.5 to 9. Anything else still sells, like people buy a size 20 men's shoes. But if you're looking for a quick turnover, you want to take those sizes. So those sizes, I wouldn't say sell at a premium. They might. When it comes to jeans, I know that men's jeans, specifically vintage Levi's, are very, very size dependent, more so even than anything else. And like a size, if there's a difference less than 6 between the inseam and the waist is anywhere between a 30 to a 34, it's going to, I know it's a lot of information. It's going to sell so much better, and you can command a premium because there's so many more buyers for that product.
Are you
than
saying that
something
the
else.
inseam should be longer than the waist because you said 6 inches? Or I mean, are you saying?
So okay, so a suit manufacturer would say drop 6. So if your pant size, if your European pant size is 6, as a 6 number difference between your, if there's a 6 number difference between your jacket, your European jacket size and your European pant size, that's called drop 6. Drop 8 is an 8 number difference. Drop 10 is a 10 difference. So, I would say drop 6. No one knows what the fuck that means. But if you're looking at like a jeans difference, if there's more than a 6-inch difference between your inseam and your waist, either way, if it's a 36 waist, 30-inch inseam, or a 30-inch waist,
30-inch. So 42
exactly,
30-inch length would be bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's a square sized individual. And there's not as many buyers for that, so they're not willing to pay as much. So when it comes to men's jeans, you want to have less than a 6-inch difference between waist and inseam.
What about women?
So women's are totally different because they don't, but sorry, it's harder to measure because a women's 27, like in the same brand, could be a little different because 127 will have a little bit of a bigger inseam than a different one. So unless they're marked, which are not many pairs, like some women's Levi's will still have the inseam and the waist, but most of them are just, like if you're looking at Paige or Adriano Goldschmidt or something, it's just 30, 32. So what you want to look for is anything between, I found that something like less than a 30 sells a lot slower than anything more than a 30. So 30 to 34 sells.
It's probably the best.
Better than anything that's like size 27. Yeah. And when it comes to models of jeans, one nice thing that is related to jeans is models. So if you're looking at Levi's, they always 501s, 522, 546. And then, like if you're looking at Adriano Goldschmidt, there'll be something like the Graduate or the Protege. True Religion will have something like Billy. Gloria Vanderbilt will have something like Amanda. So there's all these different quote unquote models that you can easily just type into eBay and figure out.
Okay, something weird's happening here. I'm now got a screen saying I'd better upgrade because we're running out of time. It'll let me do 40 minutes.
So that means we hit 30.
Okay, and it won't let me go back to the screen. Oh, come on. Of course, it says back and then liar. It's not taking me back. Configure products, payment. Shit. Shoot.
You're still recording on my end.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording now. So anyway, our observation was the red squirrel. Our takeaway was beware of the red squirrel. And don't buy the damn people.
And for this specific call, I would say if Chris goes total squirrel, then we're probably going to go total squirrel. So if Chris goes total squirrel, we need to have some sort of like backup mindset conversation, not like established, but something we come up with on the fly.
We're going to have a secret
that's related
phrase
to it.
That says, Chris, we're so far off topic, I don't remember where we are.
So I was also thinking we need for these calls, we could come up with like segments. So we could be like from 1 to 10, or just from, you know, red to gray to black, like,
Yeah.
like how squirrely was today's call? Are we going like rabid squirrel? Are we going like calm,
Kind of like
mature
an
gray?
squirrel. This is we've got to have a code for it. This is an obsessed squirrel, because the call Friday was wild squirrel. Remember that? It was just all over the place. Today,
I think
it was searching for a particular acorn.
this was a squirrel in heat that's chasing a single squirrel.
But his wife's a repeat customer.
She repeat customer. Okay, so we got that. So that, I think that's one funny segment to me. And then the second segment, squirrel, and then
Come on the table.
I lost it. I knew what it was. I'll think of it again.
Wait a minute.
Text you.
Stop. I just saw a squirrel running back of your chair.
Exactly, right?
It went that way. All right. Well, let's do this again tomorrow morning. I'm going to go clam digging. So we're going to be on the beach part of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, and then let's talk about or I guess maybe we ought to just, before we run out of time, I think you ought to host tomorrow, because I won't be able to do much of the controls. So
Yep, makes sense.
Send me an invite at some point, and I'm going to stop it before it kills us. So see you, Thomas, tomorrow morning.
Sounds good.